It's me, Vivian. I'm only midway through my sophomore year, and I can already feel my high school years slipping away. It won't be long until we're all in college. Are you as scared as that as I am? Anyway, recently a group of Cristo Rey graduates came back to the school to share their college experiences and to give some advice. This live event was recorded as we have the pleasure of presenting it to you today on the podcast. As an extra bonus for this special college-themed episode, throughout the show, you'll hear from the junior and senior podcast hosts about where they currently are on their college admissions journey. Okay, are you ready? Let's meet the alumni.
So my name is Gregory Madison. I graduated in 2019, so I don't recognize anybody here. And so my favorite thing about IU is the opportunities that I've had and the people that I've met. A lot of really good connections for sure.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline. I graduated 2023. I currently go to Ohio State University. I say one thing that I really like is how beautiful the campus is, especially during the fall.
Hi, I'm Camille. I graduated in 2023. I go to Ohio Wesleyan. What I like about the campus is that it's small and it has great traveling opportunities.
Hi, my name is Penda. I also graduated class of 2023. I go to the Ohio State University, their Newark campus, and one thing I like about that school is their smaller class sizes.
Okay, so my name's Nardos, and I've got some questions that students already, they put up beforehand, and then it's also an open floor, so if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and, shout it out when they're done speaking. So the first question is going to be, what was the wow factor? What made you choose that college out of all of the colleges you applied to?
I think my story is a little bit different just because I went to OSU Newark first. I did not like it personally. OSU Newark for me in 2019 it wasn't diverse, and it really didn't have what I was looking for in terms of sociology. But I see now it probably is a little bit better. But I chose IU after graduating from Columbus State, got my associate's degree, and decided to go to Indiana University. The reason why I chose it was because I wanted to get out of the state. I think a lot of people stay in Ohio just because it's safe, families here, friends are here, but I think there are a lot of opportunities out of state, and so it really allowed me to really gain a lot of insight on what it really is to live alone, for sure.
I'd say for me the wow factor. Well, first I got admitted into the Newark campus first. So for my freshman year, I spent my time there. It was pretty good, but I really liked the main campus more. It was kind of like my dream school since middle school. They have a really good very good law school, and that was what I wanted to get into. So that was the main wow factor for me.
For me, the main wow factor was the way campus was set up. It's there's a residential side, and then there's a long jaywalk, and then it's the academic side. So I did like that part because it's convenient. If you're on the academic side, you can just stay on the academic side instead of walking all over the place.
My wow factor I would say is I personally just like the smaller class sizes again that Newark has to offer. Like Jacqueline said, I was admitted there first, but I did choose to stay for a second year, mainly because I didn't think I was prepared enough to go to main campus yet. It's a bigger school, definitely bigger class sizes, and I wanted to finish most of my prerequisites at the Newark campus before I went to main campus.
Okay, my name is Miriam. Do either of you feel as though as Cristo Rey has prepared you for college, just graduated?
I would say for sure, just because of the opportunities that I've had. A lot of the people who did not graduate from Cristo Rey, who graduated from other schools, specifically who went to high schools in Indiana, they were years behind in terms of professionalism, in terms of what a resume looks like, in terms of typing, a whole bunch of stuff. And so for me, I really stood out when it came to interviews, when it came to study abroad, when it came to internships, a lot of the things that I wanted to do. I really was able to stand out because of the stuff you're learning here, which when you're here, it doesn't seem like it's really helpful, but the typing class and stuff like that, it really did make me stand out.
I also agree. I feel it definitely helped, especially with the workload that Cristo Rey offers. I feel it's somewhat similar to how the college workload is. And also with like the resume as well, I feel like since Cristo Rey offers you like a tons of jobs like you can do, especially with a wide variety, it gives you like more of like a more polished and more outward look for like your resume. Because if a lot of jobs see that like, oh, you worked maybe in a lot of like dining or like in a lot of like fast food, or you work in like the zoo or someplace, it gives a lot of like uniqueness to it.
Yeah, I agree with both of them in terms of like professionalism, because like some people like at my school when I first went, they didn't know like how to properly write an email or like what to do like at a job interview and stuff. So I feel like Cristo Rey helps you prepare in that aspect.
They basically said everything. The professionalism courses that they have here, they really do help when you get out into the real world, especially if you go to like career fairs and stuff like that they will hold on your campus. It does help you stand out. It helps your resume stand out with all the different internships that you guys have been working like since you've been here, and the workload that they give you here definitely helps translate once you do get to college, because I know they give you guys a lot of work here, but it helps you.
Hey guys, it's Sari. I'm a junior, and this time we're talking about colleges. For us juniors, they want us to make our college list, and let's just say I have a few in mind. I've been looking at some colleges for a while, and I can say I have 3 top colleges: Roanoke College, the University of North Texas at Dallas College of Law, and the University of Illinois at Chicago. All 3 colleges have an amazing path for my future dream, which is becoming a lawyer. Of course, I'm still thinking about my options, and I plan on keeping my mind open for the college list.
Hi guys, it's Paris, and I'm a senior this year. During my college search, I haven't had a dream school per se, but more like a few top colleges. So far, I've been accepted into Otterbein, Miami University, and most excitedly for me, OSU Maine. OSU is one of the previously mentioned top schools for me, and I'm hoping to enroll for a pre-nursing / undecided major for fall of 2025. I hear back from my other top schools, Denison and Case Western, later on in the year, so hopefully I get accepted and offered scholarships. Wish me luck, Cougars!
My name is Benta and I'm a senior. My question is, since you go like to school in Indiana, how did you manage to get like back home during breaks and stuff? Especially during your underclassmen years, you can't take your car on campus.
Yeah. Well, I think it depends on what school. For me, like the first year I went there, I did not have a car. And so I was, when I moved in was when I was staying there. And so I really didn't travel back home. Like there's Flixbus and there's Greyhound if you want to get on Greyhound and like get home. But for me, it pushed me to like make connections and friends on campus. And so I think a lot of people sometimes if they go out of state or, into a different city for school, they want to like have that comfortability of having family and friends and sort of don't really venture out. And so for me, luckily I have a car now. And so I'm able to go back and forth, but I think there are plenty of options in terms of transportation, getting from state to state for sure.
Do you guys, do any of you guys have jobs, and how do you handle like your job? How does it work?
Since it's been 5 years since I've been here, and so I've had multiple jobs, but one of the jobs that I've had most recently is I just started a seasoned associate job with the Pacers. At first I was an intern, and so I was an intern from January or December up until May. And then about maybe a month or so ago, they called me and was like, we really love you, and we really love to have you back as an associate. And so I was promoted to an associate for diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so that's what I do now. It's been an adjustment for sure, because it requires a lot of your time. It requires a lot of intention in terms of figuring out what you need to do at when time. And so because I'm still in school, I'm doing graduate school, not currently, but that's what I'm pursuing. And so it takes a lot of effort. Like you really have to use a calendar for sure.
For me, I currently work at student dining. So I work in like the back, like prepping food. And it's on like OSU main campus. They offer you like student jobs that you can have on campus. I'd say with managing, I feel grateful that they only give like 4 hours, and like the minimum is like 8 hours you have to work within that week. So I only work 12, and it's scheduled. It's very easy, but there are some times, especially during finals, where it gets really tough and you really do have to use the calendar and make sure that like you stay on top of it.
Me, in terms of jobs, I don't work on campus. I work like when I'm home for breaks. And also, like, my school is mostly white, So I do hair for like those who want their hair done. I do hair as like a side hustle, but it is hard because like you still gotta study and like make your work a priority. So just balancing that.
I'm lucky enough, I've been at my job long enough that I'm able to request like specific days off with my manager and stuff like that. They're really lenient with me, especially because they do know I'm in school. So I only work Friday through Sunday at like very specific times. So I have time to get my work done over the weekend, and I don't have classes those days, so I just do it that way.
My name is Sharon, and my question is, what are your favorite parts of college life?
Just the whole experience of seeing different people come together and just going towards their goals. For me, it was really good for me to see people who had bigger goals than me, and so it really made me level up my goals. Like a lot of people want to be lawyers, a lot of people, want to be sports agents, and so seeing people who had like huge goals, like when somebody wants to be president, and actively like pursuing that and meeting with council people and things like that, I think it really sort of elevates, what you want to do. But also in terms of just culture of like the college campus life, D9 is like really big thing. I don't know if anybody's interested in like sororities or fraternities. That's a big thing on our campus, and so getting involved with that, I'm actually on the executive board for our Black Student Union, and so I'm right now planning our MLK dinner, which is like the biggest event on campus for Martin Luther King Jr., and so it's a very formal event, and so just getting involved has been like one of my favorite things, and just D9 and all those different organizations is really cool.
For me, for college life, I really like how there are times in like any situation where everybody can like come together. Like there's a lot of like student organizations, and I feel like that's one of my favorite parts, because especially at OSU, like if there's any club or any like activity that you like, there is something for that. They have like a bread club, they have like a bird watching club, they have everything, like chess, they also have like a Bible study as well, like everything they have, and that's just absolutely what I love about college life.
Hi guys, it's Liam. My college search has been geared towards veterinary school, seeing as I want to be a vet, though I do have an idea of going into business if it doesn't work out. So for the top colleges or universities I've been looking at have been Cornell and The Ohio State University, seeing as they both rank highly in the country for vet school. While there are not a lot of vet schools in the country, I still feel like I have a good shot because of how much effort and work I put into maintaining high grades and doing many extracurriculars. If I don't end up going to vet school, my top college would be probably Harvard for business.
Hi guys, it's Natalia. You might not know this, but I'm a senior this year, which means I'm going through the whole college process search. It's been stressful, but it's been worth it because now I'm 100% committed to The Ohio State University, where I'm planning to double major in biology and history and going into the pre-dental track. I'm so excited to see what the next fall brings.
I'll say what I love about college life is kind of like what Gregory said, like getting involved and meeting different people. I'm currently the captain of Battling Lead Stars. It's the majorette team out of my school. But yeah, just put yourself out there and have fun.
I would say the different clubs that they have, like Jacqueline was saying. I don't even go to main campus, but I attend a lot of the club meetings and stuff that they have there, especially for their African Youth League Association and their Western Sahel Student Association, because they have like a good outreach team. Like they reach people from all over the place, like high schoolers show up to their events sometimes. Like I really enjoy going there.
I'm Victory. What's your major and how's the workload?
My major is sociology. I think with like any liberal arts degree, like anything that's non-STEM, it's going to be a lot of writing, research projects. I have about 4 research projects that I'm doing currently. And so it's just about balancing.
I am a criminology major, which is basically like sociology. I say that the workload, it's not too bad, but there is definitely a lot of research and essays that you need to write, especially for like policies, something like that.
My major is fine arts, and considering minoring in Spanish and communication, because I go to a liberal arts school, I have to do like certain like requirements like freshman and sophomore year. So the workload isn't too terrible, but the art classes, they're good. They're just super long because you have to like work on projects and stuff.
I'm currently a biology major, thinking of changing my major if that helps answer that question at all. It is a lot. There's a lot of science courses that you have to take. I would say specifically chemistry it's a lot. Like you have a lot, especially with those science classes. Like you'll have like about 2-hour classes like twice a week maybe, and then on top of that you have a lab that you have to do for that class. I know they do that for biology, chemistry, anatomy, physics, like those like science type classes. Those will definitely give you like a good amount of workload, especially because usually they're like 5 4-credit classes. So if any of you are STEM majors, I would be prepared for that because the math classes, they give maybe about the same workload, if not less.
Penda, based off like that, do you feel like you have like a good support system? Like, do you feel like you can go like talk to your professors about it? Like, or do you just feel like you don't know where to look for you to have?
I would say mainly because I go to a smaller school. It's easier for your professors to reach out to you if they see you're struggling at all. Like I walked into class the other day and my biology teacher looked like, oh, I noticed you didn't turn this in. Like, you wanna get that done? Because he had noticed that I like fell behind on a couple of his assignments because I'm taking biology and chemistry at the same time right now, which was not a smart idea. But they're definitely really helpful. They're always there. Like, if you need to go to their office hours, go to their office hours because they are there to help. And I would also say utilize whatever tutoring that you do have at your school because they'll help you also. Like, it's usually students that are there, and they've been through the classes that you've been through. And I feel like they usually have a better way of explaining it than your teachers will in class.
When it comes to, like, motivation for your guys' schoolwork and just college at all, how do you guys, like, stay on top of that, like, being motivated to continue your majors in school?
I just think about like what the goal, like the end goal is. Not even just like the degree, but like what am I trying to do? And so for me as a career, what am I trying to do? And so I constantly think about that. But I just think it's like a constant reminder. Like you have to constantly remind yourself, like I don't want to turn this in. Like it's 11:59, I have to turn this in. But it's like, what's the end goal? You know what I mean? And so that's kind of a difficult question in terms of like motivation. I think motivation's a personal sort of thing. So for me, it's just constantly reminding myself of like what the end goal is. It's not just a degree, but what kind of career do I want to have? And this assignment and me completing it will get me further to that goal.
Honestly, for my motivation, it's more like when's like the nearest break and how long can I like really like get all this done until then. Because usually a lot of like the work, it's a lot, and I'm usually thinking, okay, fall break is like really close or winter break's really close. I just gotta get all this done, and then after that I'll be free. Like that's really it. I feel like that motivation, and like I don't want to like, especially for assignments where it's like really close to the deadline. My motivation is I don't want to get like lower points because I turned it in late. I'd rather get all this done now so then like it doesn't affect my grade badly.
Honestly, for me, like my motivation is like time management, and like after you plan out everything, not looking at it like as like a whole, but just like thinking about it like day by day or week by week. Like, okay, well maybe this is due on Friday, and then I have a break in the week in a little bit, and then my next assignment isn't due till like Monday or something. So just like, I guess celebrating like the time you have when you have like a break or so.
I would say my motivation, I still live at home, so my parents are very much constantly asking me if I have any homework or how I'm doing in my classes and such, and it's like I don't want to have to come home one day and be like, oh yeah, I'm failing this class. So I use that as a get my work done.
Hi guys, it's Cesar. I'm a junior, and I'm here to talk about my college journey. As of right now, I am not sure what college will be my final decision. But as a junior, I had the chance to get more in depth of how college admission works, and how to get more involved with getting admitted into a college. And thanks to the college counseling team, I managed to get an eye on different colleges that I might end up going to. And one of them I'm looking forward to going to will be Purdue University or Richmond University. They both have impressive views, as well as both have areas that I really want to study.
Hey guys, it's Ashley. This year I'm a senior, and as you know, I'm getting ready to decide what college I want to go to. Right now, I'm in between decisions, either from Loyola University or OSU. I want to study biochemistry on a track to pre-med. I want to be a labor and delivery doctor, but right now, I'm not really sure what college I'm going to go into right now, but yeah.
How did you guys have to, adjust? If you live on campus, how did you have to adjust with sharing a living space with another person, especially someone that you don't know?
I guess I'll go first. But so right now I am in a single apartment, so I'm grateful for it because when I first went to school, like she said, I went to OSU Newark, so I was back at home, and so I regret, I took advantage of being back at home because when you're in a space with somebody else who doesn't have the same cleaning habits as you, who's up all night, who's gaming or doing whatever, it can take a toll not just on you mentally, but on you academically. And so for me, it's about setting hard boundaries with people. Compromise is great, but also making sure that you tell people like X, Y, Z, like I have an exam at this time of day, so people get things so they can sort of turn down. You know what I mean?
I currently live at home, so I have no idea about like residents and all that stuff.
For me, like I did like a summer program that was like for my like focused on like minorities, so that helped because it was like before college started. But I guess kind of like what Gregory said, just setting like hard boundaries and like being clear, using your voice.
Well, even if you live at home, what is like an adjustment that you had to make, instead of having to go to high school, like what boundaries did you have to set with your parents, let them know that you have an exam the next morning, things like that?
I can't really do that. So what I usually do, I have a really, the way my scheduling was really bad this semester, I have like a really big gap in between my classes, and I utilize that mainly because it's like 4 hours, and it's not like I'm gonna drive back home and drive back over there. So I go to the library, I use my time there, and I study. If I know I have an upcoming test, I'll study for it mostly at school, but when I do get home, I usually wait until like everybody else goes to sleep if I do want to study more there, because it's very difficult to do that at my house.
For me, I made a commitment from since I went to Newark my freshman year. It was about like a 40-minute drive like daily, having to like get to class, especially like early in the morning, like 8 a.m. I did a bad decision and chose 8 a.m. classes, and I had to leave the house at like 6 in the morning in order to like beat traffic and be there on time. But I'd say at OSU main campus, it's still the same thing. Like I still leave the house 6 in the morning, even though it's like a 15-minute drive. I usually go to the library. I study like before classes, in between classes, any chance that I get. I try to do classwork before I get home. And usually I have a boundary with my parents where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be home until like 5 p.m. It really depends on if there's any organizations or clubs or events. And I try to also have it as to where like I take in like their time as well, so then I don't have to be like a burden to be like, oh yeah, pick me up like right in the middle of work. No, because like if they work until like 8 p.m., I'll be like, okay, that's perfect. If my class ends at 5, I'll just study for like those 4 hours or how many hours there are until like you come pick me up. That's really it.
Hi, my name is Hala, and I'm not sure if Indiana University is, but I know that Ohio State and Ohio Wesleyan are PWIs. And I just want to know, as people of color, how did you manage to transfer to that type of institution, especially knowing that Cristo Rey is mostly of a minority background? Like, how did you manage? Was it different?
So for me, IU is a PWI. For me, it just pushed me to get more in tune with Black culture. Like I said, D9, which if you don't know is it's Divine 9, which are like the Black fraternities and sororities. There's Black Student Union, we have African Student Association, and so there's a lot of different organizations on campus that allow you to have that sort of fit that sense of home or sense of belonging. And I think it really, for me, it was more so realizing a lot of people aren't really used to Black culture in that way, especially going to PWI. There is sort of like a limitation on sort of how you express yourself, and so these clubs can be a safe space for you to express yourself, dress how you want, do whatever you want. And so for me, it was really just an opportunity to sort of exist around Black people and just do whatever I wanted to do.
For me, I'd say that it was definitely a bit of an adjustment. I was lucky that I was able to find an organization on main campus as I was transferring for my second year, mainly with the Latin Student Success Center. They have like an early program where like they spend like a whole week being like, oh, like let's help with your classes, you know, like let's help like you find your classes, like where like all the places are, you know, like about like housing and all that. I was really lucky that I was able to get into that. And then since there is a lot of more Hispanic and Latinx organizations, like it was more easier like finding people, especially when you're walking to classes. You can sometimes see like people within those organizations. You'd be like, oh my gosh, hi, how are you? Or like you can see like your friends or like mentors that are in that group, and it's definitely more easier.
Hey guys, it is I, your beloved senior Pure. Applying to colleges are going, well, swimmingly, I'd say. It's probably the one thing on my plate that's not actively beating me down. However, that doesn't mean that I'm actively ignoring it. I have 8 of my college applications finished, but I do have 2 of them left. And the reason I have those 2 left because they're kind of difficult. And the deadlines are coming up soon, so it's not a fact of just ignoring it. It's just trying to get my priorities straight, which is a big thing with college applications and college lists. You got to get your priorities straight of like which colleges you really know you want to get into and which ones will give you the best future. But you gotta make sure you make enough time for each and every college.
Hey guys, it's Jade. I'm currently submitting and getting acceptance letters back. I recently just got acceptance letters to Xavier University in Cincinnati, Ohio, and Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. And now it's just time to watch the decisions roll in.
For me, it was a bit of an adjustment, but since I did the summer bridge program, since it focused around minorities, I already met a lot of like minorities already that were there that were freshmen. And then in the program we had like mentors, so those are also like some were like other students that are minorities, so they actually like helped. And we had different talks about like what is it like being in this space and what is that going to look like going forward. So I think that helped a lot. But just honestly, just be yourself.
I would say definitely going to those minority-centered clubs will help you a lot. Like I was saying, AYL, WSSA on main campus, those are both really good places to go if you want to meet other Africans, Black people. There are a lot of minorities that go there. They also have a VSA. They have events. They hold a lot of events throughout the school year. Like OSU, like their minority groups. If you follow them on Instagram and stuff, just go to the events. You're going to meet a lot of people that are like similar to you. You'll meet a lot of people there.
If you guys could give one advice, whether it be specifically to upperclassmen or high school seniors, like what would you say is one thing that are like, whatever college you go to, this will help you out? This advice.
I would say definitely time management is a key factor with basically anything. If you know you're going to be working and going to school, you need to have time management. If you know you have homework, test assignments, like if you're taking a lot of credit hours or even if you're taking like a minimal amount, definitely have good time management with the other things that you want to have going on in your life. Like if you know you're going to hang out with your friends, make sure you set aside time to finish all your classwork before that, or you set aside time afterwards. Like whatever helps you out, like whatever order you want to do your life in, just make sure that you leave enough time for school so that it remains a priority for you. Because college is fun. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on. You want to go to parties. There's parties to go to. You meet new people. You want to hang out with your new friends. But you have, especially that first semester, you have to focus on getting into a groove where you know you're not going to start falling behind on your classes.
Yeah, I would say time management is like the one advice I would give. Like Penda said, there's like a lot going on. You know, you want to hang out with your friends, you want to go to events, go to parties, but have fun, but then also still like making your work a priority.
I do also agree with the time management. I feel like another thing is that, especially if you decide to go to a college university that has a big campus, like utilize like the Maps app, because if you have a class that's like on one side of campus and then the next class is on the other side, you have to make sure that like you set aside a good amount of time, because it's not good to have classes back to back or within like 10 minutes, because if the route says it's only be like a 5-minute walk, it might be more, because sometimes there's people flying by on scooters, or they have like delivery robots over at OSU campus, and sometimes like you have to walk behind those, and then sometimes there's also slow walkers, or there's construction, or there's events that are blocking areas. You have to make sure to set a good amount of time between classes, at most like 10-15 minutes at most.
I agree with everything that they said. For me, like, I have two things. Give yourself grace, because I think a lot of people don't know like what they want to do outside of after high school. Like, just by a show of hands, like does everybody know like what major they trying to go into? Right. And so that was me. And so I think a lot of times people sort of pressure people to like choose a major. Undeclared is a major. And so not sort of pushing yourself into a major and then sort of actually falling behind, because that's exactly what I did. I did business because everybody do business. And then I was like, this is not about to work out, because everybody thinks business. If you do business, you're gonna become a millionaire. And that's not what it is. And that's not even my passion. And so for me, it's about giving yourself grace for the college experience, but it's also about networking. College is what you make of it, and I think a lot of people don't really do the college experience. They stay home, they don't hang out, they don't do the student orgs, they really just stay within what they did in high school. And so I think it's really, really important, if you really want to do college like for real, is to like really branch out and like make it really an experience, like for real.
That's all the time that we have for today. Thank you guys again for coming. If you guys have any questions, you can always ask our college counselors, Ms. Harper, Ms. Grassinger, and Mr. Lewis. And yeah, thank you.
And a big thank you to our alums for coming today.
Stop the music, stop the music, stop the music. Hello everyone, Mr. Corrigan here. You know, for me, hearing the voices of the alumni, they bring back so many memories, and hearing the college plans of our current students makes me so hopeful for the future. Whether you were a freshman or you graduated years ago, I hope you know that your time at Cristo Rey Columbus bonds you to hundreds of people now scattered all over the country and the world. In that spirit, I'd like to end this alumni show in a very special way. At the 2023 graduation ceremony, Vanessa Mora, the co-valedictorian of the class of 2017, our very first graduating class, presented a video alumni address. Although she was speaking to that particular class, I believe her words should resonate with anyone who has passed through, or is passing through, our hallowed halls. Here's Vanessa, class of 2017.
Good afternoon, graduates, faculty, parents, and distinguished guests. It is a great honor and immense joy to be Cristo Rey Columbus alumni speaker today. While I'm not able to celebrate with you in person, I'm glad to be part of this milestone and share some words of inspiration. Writing this speech truly filled me with an overwhelming sense of nostalgia and excitement, because it was not too long ago that I too was ready to embark on my own journey as a recent graduate. 6 years ago, I sat where you sit now, brimming with a mix of excitement and nerves, dreaming about what the future would hold, and meticulously crafting a 10-year plan, which is unsurprising if you knew me back in high school. I had life all figured out, starting with leaving the familiarity of Columbus behind, graduating college with my family beside me, and eventually landing a job in a bustling international city. Well, let me tell you, it's amusing to look back and realize how much life loves to surprise us, even when we think we have it all mapped out. But let me get back to this in a bit. Now let's rewind the clock further, a whole decade ago, when I was part of the inaugural class at Cristo Rey. What a ride it was. It truly transformed me, molding my character, honing my skills, and setting me on the path to becoming who I am today. I still carry all of those lessons in my back pocket. From Mr. Corrigan, that it's always a perfect time for a keyboard music break. From Miss Martin, that poetry will feed your soul. And from gym class, that I am in fact not made to play basketball. But without a doubt, the memories and lessons I learned within Cristo Rey's walls have remained a constant source of strength for me, as I hope they will be for you. One of the greatest things I learned from Cristo Rey is that what affects one part of the body affects the whole. We went through a lot together, from moving into a new school building to teacher turnover, taking part in intimate retreats, and establishing traditions. Our teachers created classroom space for us to have difficult conversations when we needed to. Let us know it was okay to be vulnerable and showed us the power and importance of community. Let me give you an example. The 2016 election happened during my senior year. There was nervousness among our class because the topic of immigration was hotly debated leading up to it. I am proudly the daughter of Mexican immigrants. So on election day, there was a somberness that eventually developed into true fear of what would happen to our parents, of what would happen to us. Our teachers paused their curriculum and their concern turned to our well-being. And in that day of uncertainty, we knew we were in a safe place. I held on to this lesson closely when I stepped foot on a predominantly white and wealthy Ivy League campus. There is little else that could have prepared me for Brown than the unity of our Cristo Rey class. Little else that could have prepared me to explain poverty to multiple classmates during discussion sections, or fight the university for ethical investments in our food systems and away from war weapons. It took me 1 full year to move beyond imposter syndrome and feel comfortable taking up space on campus. In that year, the thing that changed was finding strong friendships and community through activism organizations, the Brown Catholic community, and the undocumented low-income student center. Friends in these groups created space for me as a marginalized student and reminded me that my life experiences were stories worth telling, especially on a campus where students like me hadn't existed for centuries. Graduates, as you prepare to step out into the world, remember that you are a change agent, and your existence in these systems and institutions is revolutionary. You have overcome countless challenges, both academically and personally, to reach this pivotal moment. You did it together, made it through challenges that you couldn't imagine, from the chaotic shift to virtual classes, to unexpected distance from friends, from sleepless nights studying for exams, to pandemic haircuts. You have proven time and time again that you possess the tenacity to adapt and overcome any obstacle that comes your way. In this rapidly changing world where new technologies like AI emerge and global challenges loom, it's easy to feel daunted. But let me assure you that you are equipped with the tools to thrive and make a lasting impact. You have a strong foundation to build a future that is uniquely yours. Remember that success is not measured solely by material achievements, but by the positive impact that you have on the world around you. I know that each of you will accomplish extraordinary feats, but never forget to stay true to yourselves and to the people that have guided you thus far. Let your action be driven by compassion and a genuine desire to make a difference. I guarantee you that you will never regret time spent in service of others, because you are your community. When you pour into others, you pour into yourself. Now, when I started this speech, I mentioned my so-called 10-year plan that included moving to a big city and how my life journey has transformed since then. Well, the reason for this transformation is rooted in the profound realization that changing the world starts and ends with the meaningful connections we foster at the local level. It has been the honor of my career to work alongside our neighbors at the Reeb Center to build a thriving Southside community. Use the values instilled in you by Cristo Rey to be empathetic and socially responsible individuals. Never underestimate the power of a helping hand or an act of goodwill. It is through these meaningful gestures that you can truly change the world. I stand here as living proof that the foundation laid within these walls has the power to propel you to extraordinary heights. Trust in your abilities, embrace your passions, and never lose sight of the unique gifts you possess. As you embark on this incredible journey, carry with you the memories, friendships, and remember, it is always a perfect time for a music break. Congratulations, class of 2023. May your futures be as bright as the light you bring into the world. Thank you.